What's up, Ahmed? Aiden.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, G? Hi, Marin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Ooh.
Stop. Let's go. Hi, Star.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you so much.
Good to see you again here.
Yeah, I was just checking out the replay from last week. It was a really good call. I got about 40% through.
Heck yeah. Yeah, actually, I I started the beginning of that call with a question or thing that you brought up last time. So I
Oh,
appreciate
okay.
yeah, because you were like the hardest part, like cold calling, it's hard to just do it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the hardest part. So I started off with that last time.
Thanks.
Yeah. Um, Marin, how are the calls?
Today was just like, I don't know, a little rough. I don't know. I feel like when I'm calling, like I don't get nervous at all. Like, it's not like I don't get like that like call anxiety or whatever, but like I feel like I'm like what's the word? Like I'm not as good at it anymore. Like I feel like I'm getting worse at it, if that makes sense. Like I don't know. I think the problem I'm running into is like I'm getting better at qualifying people.
Uh,
So that's why it feels like I'm getting worse at it because like I'm not wasting time moving forward with people that don't matter. Okay, that sounds so mean. But like businesses that won't qualify. You
I
know what I
know.
mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, I've been running into a lot of people that just like they don't use the system or, those are really all the people that want it is that like ones that just like don't keep track of their info.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Like what the heck? I can't
Yeah.
do anything for you.
Yeah. No, I was just telling my buddy today, I was like, I think and I was talking to Sam about this, like I think we're also gonna up how many like past clients they need to have too. Because like the last few onboardings I put on, I already cooked their list on accident way too quick. And like I'm like they're getting a bunch of reviews, but it's gonna yeah, it's gonna
Like how quick did you go through it?
I think I put like one an hour, like one request an hour. And that like, yeah, that made it, yeah. And they had a list of 150 people. So,
Mm.
and then I kind of forgot. So Sam made a good point where I'm just gonna push through a couple of those people first to get them a boost right off the bat and then leave it at what I set it to. But letting some more people in here. What up, Samuel?
Hey, what's up? How you
How you
doing,
doing,
man?
man?
Yeah,
Good.
it's funny. I'm here. I'm just try to stay up for the meeting.
You're in Madrid.
Yeah, no, I actually live in Granada. It's a little bit down.
I actually spent like 3 days in Granada. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
awesome, man.
it's an
Like it
absolutely
here?
beautiful city. Yeah, let's go. And are you doing reviews?
Yeah, I'm actually doing yeah, rep management too. Yeah.
Cool. Let's go. And didn't you say did you get your first client or
Yeah, I got it like literally started just requesting reviews on Monday with them. I was basically just keeping up with him, just trying to call him and call him and call him. And then he just said like, all right, let's do it. He wanted just to give him like one or two clients to start. I said like, man, at least I need like 100 or something. He sent me like 60 and I'm doing like 8 reviews a day. 8 requests, my bad.
okay?
And already on in 3 days. Yeah, it's been 3 days now. I've gotten like 5 reviews, so it's going great, I think.
Go.
Not much, but it's all right. 8 requests a day, 5 reviews in total in 3 days. That's all right, I guess.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Let's go, man. Congrats on the first client.
Thank
Um,
you very much.
yeah. Uh, Ahmed,
And
are you
make sure you collect the testimonial from him. Those case studies are important at first.
Yeah, that I mean, I don't have like a payment method yet, right? Because I just wanted to get like testimonials and stuff. So on Monday or Thursday, Monday or Tuesday, I'm gonna call him again and ask for three things. Mainly, more clients to request reviews, payment method or referrals, just to trying to keep on the hook.
Let's go. Sweet. Ahmed, are you doing reviews? Are you cold calling?
Yo, Frankie, what's up? How are you
What
doing?
up? I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good, thank you. So yeah, I want to start cold calling, but what I've been doing is just cold texting, and I want to start doing web reviews. I've been doing websites.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah, so that's why I'm here. I'm trying to learn.
Sweet, man. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I have actually like a little bit of a tactical presentation today for you guys so that you guys can hop into calls and have a framework, whether you're doing websites or reviews. I think it's going to apply to everything. We do reviews, and Sam and I started this like 5 months ago, but yeah, I think this framework can be applied to whatever you're selling. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. But on Marin's point too, like I just want to once again say like this the you'll have really great weeks because Marin had said like she's like I feel like I'm getting worse. And sometimes you have to get worse to get better. Like this process and journey of sales or building something or reaching out to strangers for money, like you're gonna go through these cycles of highs and lows, but you just can't quit. Literally, I heard Alex Hermosi, or as Sam and I say, H Train, um, he was talking about how um, really business is just a game of persistence. Like all it is just you just can't quit, and cold calling is going to get you to a place where you develop thick skin, you develop the ability to communicate in a way that's going to bring in revenue, and it's free. It's free. You don't have to pay ads, you don't have to wait around. Not to say you shouldn't do other outreach methods, but if you want clients quickly and you want to learn their pain points, it's the best and fastest way to that. So don't quit. Some weeks are going to be shit. My last 2 days have been shit. Sam onboarded two people today, and last week I onboarded people. So it's just a game of not quitting and continuing to push through all the bullshit because there's a ton of it. So yeah, I made out a little framework for you guys that I think will be helpful for reaching out and building your own script. So inside of the community, I put inside of there, hey Diego, I put inside of there the scripts and the different stages of the formatting of how we cold call. So it's important to note that you need to hit these different steps along the journey of the cold call. If you're not hitting all of these, it's going to be more difficult. You can jump around, and again, it's not so much the words you say, but the psychological things that are happening at these different stages. So, let me share my screen and pull this open. Blah blah blah. Get you guys out of the way here. Oh, if you wanna. All right, move. Okay. Bomb. Bomb. All right, the cold call cake. So, why'd I name it this? Because I love alliteration, and it's fun. So you got to think about it like this. You're over here. Let's say this is you, okay, and then your prospect is over here. Let's make them green because they have your money, okay. So you need to feed them these different stages along the way. So with the intro, and I'm going to reference too in the school community what I have for the script so we can kind of play along. So your intro here, this is just introducing yourself. A couple important things with the intro is to, oh, next scene, is to understand that this is where your tonality, your voice, and the overall vibe of how you're coming across is going to make or break if they want to talk to you very quickly. So like we talked about last week, having a slower pace, a slower cadence of how we speak, speaking from a lower diaphragm. If you're a dude, the lower you can speak, it's going to help. And not coming off like this and coming, hey, really quick, can you pretty please talk to me? Instead, being low and slow in how you speak. With the intro that I'm using right now, if you're actually running your own business, you know, you can steal this one, but it's just like, hey, really quick, my name's Frank. I'm a business owner. And it's really simple. You're basically just introducing yourself. You could play with this, like, how are you in there? I've been repeating like back the name of the business in the beginning, but I've just actually like today and just started playing with like, hey, how are you? And going that route. Again, play with different things. The intro is just introducing yourself, but most importantly, your tonality. So second is the permission-based opener. I like this. I think this is really important. I think there's debate on this, but basically asking somebody if it's a bad time to talk or if, you know, you had 30 seconds is going to one tell you if they're even a good candidate. Because if you're catching a pest control guy in the middle of, you know, knocking down a wasp nest, like it's just not a good time. Um, and it's you'll save time yourself by asking an opener. They'll be more open to you talking about the things moving forward if you ask their permission. So that's really important. We want to say, hey, like, is this a bad time to talk? And the reason why we frame it at, is it a bad time? Not like, hey, can I talk? Like, is it a good time? It's just like a psychological thing of like, hey, is it a terrible time to talk? People are more likely to say no than yes. Um, there's lots of books on that. Value prop. This is really important. This just is being as clear as possible in saying what you do and how you can help them. Making it very short and sweet. We've been playing around with this. So, like I've been saying, my business partner Sam and I, we started a company where we use AI and automation to get your happy customers to leave you a review online because we have a review business. Play around with this. Honestly, like you could be so simple and just say, like, we help you get more reviews online. Okay. Like, the important part here is that you state it really clearly. You're not, I try to avoid words like automation or like, you know, we integrate your CRM into our CRM so you have a high conversion rate. You need to speak at like a fifth grade reading level because more people are going to be able to understand you the simpler you put your value prop. Don't be long-winded, be short with it, and then move on. One thing that we're doing, if you're doing reviews, and I kind of forgot to include it in here, is that we relate it back to their situation. So when I call, I say, hey, we use AI and automation to get you reviews for your business. I noticed that you had X number of reviews. I saw you had 19 reviews, which tells me you probably can get some more. And I just wanted to ask how you're going about getting reviews right now. That's the open-ended question. Why do we ask an open-ended question? We just want them to talk. Sam, did you want to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say similarly, it's when somebody has a lot of reviews, it can kind of be intimidating to call them because you're like, oh, they already have it figured out. But a good variation that I've been using lately, it's been helping out a lot with those folks, is I notice that you get a lot of reviews, which tells me this is a priority to you. And I have a system that can improve that further. That was something like when I first started, I was intimidated by folks that already are like kind of cranking with it, but that seemed to do the trick.
That's huge. Yeah. Tailoring it to their exact situation, right? Like you just said. I think that's another layer of the cake that would be helpful there. But the open-ended question is basically just to get them talking. If we ask them a yes or no here, like you're just going to be rambling, like like you're just going to be talking the whole time. And you want to be talking like 20%, 30% of the time. Other things that I ask here for the open-ended question is I'll say, what made you want to start a business, man or woman? Like, why'd you get into this? Like, why? And to get them like one talking about their story and also like connecting with them on a human level, right? If you're just trying to sell, like they're gonna feel that. But like I'm curious about like you know, how do you like being a business owner? These kind of questions that are gonna make them you connect to them and also give you more information to then better tailor the rest of your cold call to them and their situation to help them the best with the service that you offer. So after that, we get them speaking and they say, oh, you know, like, yeah, this is how we get reviews. I'm like, awesome, great, you know, and then we talk about like, oh, this is my background. I'm like, okay, man, that's awesome. Like, The same reason I got into business, relate to them. I'll be like, cool. Well, just to keep it short, restate the value. This is what we do in more detail. Basically, we say, hey, we do a charity donation. We send out an image that has the customer's name in it, give them a little bit more detail so they can see that value and make it make sense in their head of why this is better. Now, maybe for a website, it's going to be like, yeah, man, we don't just build websites. Like we build smart websites that are actually designed to bring in more revenue for you. Like most websites are just kind of like a means of going about like seeing information. They're not designed to actually capture a lead, right? That's just like something I could think about to create more value and make it make more sense there. Second to last step, the pullback. This is probably the most important, is where we actually take some of the power back out of the dynamic, where I'm not just selling you, now I'm qualifying you. When I did door-to-door solar, we did this all the time. We would go, actually, this program is not a good fit for everybody. um, it's a means of taking the power back. So for reviews, it's like, hey, I don't know if this is actually going to work for you. The reason I wanted that call is to ask you. And then what we ask for reviews is, how many clients are you getting on a monthly basis? Do you track your customer data? Whatever is tailored for, like, what would be a one for a website? Like, everybody needs a website. I'm sure I could think of a pullback for a website. Like, we only work with contractors. Like, if you're like targeting like, let's say house painters, like we only work with painters at a certain monthly volume of traffic. How much traffic are you getting to your current website? Something to where they need to say, okay, this guy actually he needs information to feel like he can serve me best. And in the case of our business, we genuinely need to know this information to see if we can help them. So pull the power back, get that information, and then after that, you're going to close. And that's where we're going, at least in our situation. Hey, like, we're a new company. We set this up for free just to show you it works. I'd love to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes of your time to show you this over Zoom. Does tomorrow or the next day work better for you? So again, at that point, they're going to bring up concerns. You can resolve those. But most of the time when I get to this point, yeah, it's going to be like a yes or no. There might be like the email thing, which I know Hayden had mentioned and Sam brought back to you. That's probably the most common one we've been getting recently. Yeah, I think this framework can be applied to a lot of different things. I actually want to like try this for other services eventually, or just see how it works. But yeah, from that, I want to see how many of you are kind of doing this structure now, or are first off, who's all cold calling in here? I just want to see who's actually actively. Oh, Ryan's in here. What's up, Ryan? Yo, Ryan's a G. I didn't get to see all you guys while I was rambling there.
How we doing? How we doing?
Good, good. So yeah, Ryan's cold calling. They sell Facebook ads, so they're crushing.
Let's go, Ryan.
What
What's up, Sam?
But okay, we have like hand raised. Michael, did you have a question? No. Okay. Hey, Hayden, how's that? Tell me, have you been ripping calls recently?
Yeah, I just I onboarded a was it another junk removal company on Monday, and I got a barber shop last week. So it's been helping a lot, man. The call last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, was super helpful. I think one of the I just kind of I feel like I'm starting to get down, and now I understand what you guys were saying when I was like, why do you change up the script? Because even kind of when I go through it now, I feel like I'm sounding more like a robot, you know? So I kind of try to slow it down, or, switch it up, or take more pauses. But another thing that I found is helpful, and for some reason, I just think like when you bring it back to their business and do the whole, like, I saw you had this many reviews, just wanted to, it's just one of those things that like relates to them. They know that you're like actually paying attention. And that just seems to be working well. Another thing is kind of that pullback, like you've talked about, that I've been working with. And that's how I got this last client, was like, I made a list of, I kind of spent more time on the list and went through and just did one day where like I found everybody's software that they're using. So like if for some companies, like you can see what their booking software is, or if they're using any sort of CRM. Um, I guess more so on like the booking side, for booking appointments. But like for this barbershop, I was like, it's not for everybody. Do you guys use any sort of software to track customers like, Booksy or SquarePay? And I already knew that they were using SquarePay. And he was like, oh yeah, we use SquarePay. And I was like, okay, awesome. You're my kind of guy. I can help you out. And then scheduled a meeting. And um, I think that paired with the VSL, like we were talking about, it's just been
Dude.
a lot better. And I mean, I've still gotten a decent amount of no shows this week, but at the same time, it's just, happens. But it's going well for sure. So appreciate you guys.
Let's go.
No, I appreciate you, Hayden. Ever since we filmed that short little VSL, it's helped out a lot. One of the onboardings today was just down from the rip.
Dude,
Asked a couple questions,
crazy.
hopped right on. That's perfect.
Dude, there's a guy I called and on Friday, I was like, I never even got on a sales call with him. Just told him what it was about. I was like, all right, I'm gonna send you the video, literally from a cold call. Send you the video, and before we even got on the call, he was like, well, what do I need to bring? Like, can I bring the client list and all this type of stuff? I'm like, where was this like 3 months ago?
So
it's,
fire,
yeah,
bro. Let's
it's
go.
like the best feeling in the world. I was telling Clay, and this is just through, I mean, just after months of like completely banging my head against the walls, all this stuff too. But telling Clay too, even just with the whole review model, like just seeing the reviews come in and seeing somebody's card run once a month, it feels illegal almost. It's like the best thing ever. Like, but it's yeah. So this week's been good, but thanks for all the help, guys. And I feel like definitely, especially, I just screenshotted that structure that you put up on the screen, but I feel like I'm definitely starting to get kind of more into a flow and kind of like with, I guess, with, different products that you're selling, like you start to hear the same objections and then get a little bit better. And so just trying to constantly improve. But yeah, thanks, guys.
Of course. Star. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
No
So
worries.
for number 5, you want to ask them 2 questions to see if they're a good fit. Do you have a list of those questions? Because I think it was when Marin did her script with you, she was asking a lot of questions to
So,
uncover if
let me
they're
pull
a
this-
fit.
yeah, let me pull this up. I mean, the more questions, the better. Like if there's enough social rapport built and you don't feel like you're pulling teeth to get questions out and you've built this level of like there's a flow to the conversation, the more questions, the better. The reason why we asked 2 questions, oh, these questions for pullback. This is going to be tailored for reviews. It's like, hey, we need to know that you track your customer data. So first name, phone number, like, and where do you store that? Is it on an Excel spreadsheet? Is it inside a CRM? That is a requirement. Now, if you're brand new and you're just trying to get clients, like sign anybody up, like just get going, just to build momentum. But and the second one is how many people have you done business with already that you have inside of that sheet, approximately. Reason for that is we want to make sure that, hey, we can get them reviews over time, and like they're going to be a good fit that's going to stick around. And then also knowing what CRM they use to see if we can fully integrate into them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, more questions the better because we want them talking as much as possible.
A proper sales presentation is where you are leading the conversation, but you're making it feel like you're making them feel like they're leading the conversation, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Ryan, can I,
May I interrupt?
oh, go ahead, Diego.
How many calls is it taking all to close one client? I got a couple no shows, and I'm thankfully about to sign on a plumber. I just called today. He's pretty nice, but definitely kind of hard. I don't know. I'm really like I don't know. I kind of take the rejection to heart. Maybe I just need to keep doing it. I don't plan to give up, but
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think relating again, like I said last week, of what this rejection means to the grand scheme of what you're trying to do in your life, I think that's really important because like you can either let that pain fuel you or like bring you down. Don't get me wrong, there's days where I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. But over time, like it does get easier. In terms of how many calls, we had like a tear in the beginning of getting clients, but it fluctuates. Um, like I spoke about before, you just got to know once you do it long enough, you'll have like, okay, every 10 calls. This is typically, I'm like, between every 10 calls, I'll usually book an appointment. Some days though, I'll have, and that's 10 like answered decision makers.
Right, yeah.
Some days though, I'll have 20 and get no one. So but then other days I'll call five, I'll talk to five people and book two or three of them. So, um,
In terms of dealing with the rejection, it does get easier. Me and Frank had the benefit of coming from door to door, so we've been rejected to our faces like tens of thousands of times. So like it's there is a point where you just are like, whatever, dude. It's not me.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
just keep at it. It'll get easier.
Ryan, you got sauce, dude. Share us your sauce, man. I know you.
What do you want to know?
I mean, so give them some background and kind of like what your days look like. Any information that you think could be helpful from them to get better at cold calling. You book appointments, you do well. Um,
I'm slightly going down a little bit from making as many calls. Before I was probably ripping close to 500 a day. Now it's way less because I'm actually training the team. We expanded our team by like 8 people in the past month. So training them's been a little bit time consuming for me. I'd say the success that they're seeing is just repetition. So we'll have our team hop on calls with each other and just like practice through the script, but the script is kind of just like a basic way of just structuring your conversation, right? At the end of the day, all it is repetition. So the more calls you make, the more comfortable you get with talking to a specific type of business owner. Every business owner is different, but they're going to be able to like pack them into a certain kind of category. Like sometimes you're going to catch a business owner who's in a rush, right? You need to know how to navigate that type of owner. You know how to navigate a type of owner that's like one that just wants to take over the whole conversation, just spew his whole life story to you. So everything's just about repetition and kind of taking a little bit of time to look back on what you said during the call, where you could have gone wrong, where you could have made improvements, and like note that stuff down, because next time you encounter that problem, you're going to know what to say for future reference, right? So all it is repetition and actually taking note to kind of notice things that you mentioned during the call and what you could have said differently. It's all just repetition, just doing it over and over and over again, and you just become more and more comfortable with it. Like now, anytime I get on a call with somebody, any rebuttal that they throw at me, I'm like, maybe I don't know the answer, but I'm sort of able to answer it in a way that, could kind of solve their problem temporarily. And that's just going based off of kind of just any different scenario that I'm dealing with. There's always going to be a solution for it, but maybe it's not the right one, but it could also kind of just hold the problem over until I can get them on the call and kind of, dive in a little bit more and ask more questions. So I'd say that's kind of a lot to unwrap right there, but just repetition and taking notes of things that you're saying on calls. Sometimes you'll say something good and you won't even notice it, but like you need to think back after you like had a good call. You're like, okay, what went right there? Okay, I need to use this next, like do the things that are working for you and then just double down on the things that are working, and then what's not working, you're like, okay, I need to, try something else here. Maybe I've been saying this over and over again to somebody, and it just hasn't been working. What can I substitute here that, could give me better results? And then you just test it. It's just trial and error, law of averages, So sorry, that was a whole
Oh,
bunch.
no, you're
But
good. You're good. That's super helpful. I mean, yeah, really just learning as you go. That's half the reason I record myself cold calling is just
Yep,
like I can
it's really
also look
good.
and be like, oh yeah, that was shit. That was good. But how are you guys structuring your calls? Or like the cold call? I'm curious about that.
It depends because we do SEO, we do website, we do reviews, we do Facebook ads. So it kind of depends on where we're going. But in the beginning, I'll just introduce myself, say, something along the lines of what you said. Hey, my name's Ryan, looking to discuss a potential partnership. Kind of get the business owner to be like, what do you have in mind? Or I'm not looking to, partner up with anybody. Kind of see which way the call is gonna go. If one goes positive pathway, we go down the positive route. If one goes the negative route, we go down the negative route. And I kind of have a script tailored to, not really a script so much, but of things that like I want to say to drag them back. So like if somebody says like they're not interested, you definitely got to like sympathize with them and be like, totally get it, man. Haven't said enough for you to like, you know, even be interested yet, right? You have to kind of figure out what you're gonna say to a no and what you're gonna say when somebody gives you the opportunity to actually explain your service. Because if they're like, oh, cool, dude, like what do you offer? And then you're just like, like we do this, we do this, we do this, we do this. Like they're just gonna be like, oh shit, like this is too much. So you kind of gotta sit back for a second. And if they're like, yeah, man, like what do you guys do? It's like, we do everything, dude. Like, what are you guys actually looking to achieve? Like, what's important to you as a business owner? Are you guys looking to get more Google reviews? Are you guys looking to take on more customers? You know, keep your calendar booked up consistently throughout the year. Are you guys looking to, you know, build up long-term online reputation? Like, what is it that's important to you as a business owner? That way I can better, you know, propose something to help you out. Something that's working for, you know, another pressure washer that I work with right now might work for you, right? So tell me what's important to you, and then I'll just go down that route. If it's a negative route, I kind of have to work a little bit more to get them over to positive, but it's basically kind of just treating it like it's an interview, not so much as a sales call. So you're not trying to like identify if, you know, they're interested in your product. You're trying to identify if they're even a good fit, right? So you're just kind of being the qualifier and the disqualifier. Somebody's like, yeah, man, I've tried this before, haven't had good results, blah, blah, blah. Then you can dial in and be like, you know, like, what do you guys do before? You know, why was it not the results that you guys wanted? What went wrong here? Oh, here's what we do a little bit differently. If they're like, yeah, dude, we're definitely not, you know, we don't have the budget for it. We're just gonna, you know, just do word of mouth and just, you know, continue to do whatever we do. It's like, then you kind of realize where you're gonna push on and where you're gonna, you know, say, okay, this guy's not qualified. This guy's qualified. Let me, you know, continue down the rabbit hole. See if we can get him on a call. So does that help answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, definitely the idea of just like I think what's different for you guys have multiple services that you offer. So
Yeah.
like tailoring that and asking questions in the beginning to be like, okay, like how can I best fit this? And that's why I think everyone, like depending on what you have, like we're trying to find people to sell this one thing, right? Where like you
Sure.
guys have the opportunity to go like that. And I like that because if you have all these different things, like we need to know where you're at first so we can best serve you. And I think that's really important for sure.
Well, that's why you got to get into the discovery as well too. Is like, even if you're just doing one service, you got to figure out like what they're currently doing and if they've even done something in the past before, right? If they have, you know, what kind of results were they getting? How much were you know, if you don't mind me asking, how much were you guys paying for this? How long were you doing it for? You know, what did the process actually look like? Because maybe, you know, I'm doing something that you've never seen before and it could, you know, actually benefit you. That's why you kind of gotta deep dive a little bit more and get them talking about, you know, what they didn't like, what they wish they could have had. Because, you know, you guys do Google reviews and you also do like automations and stuff, I'm guessing too, right? You kind of do like remind past customers or anything like that, or is it just Google reviews?
Just your reviews.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I would just hone in on the Google reviews and just kind of figure out, you know, what have they done in the past? Why haven't they given it a chance yet? It's never really a money issue. It's never really a money issue. It's a value issue, right? If people have been burnt in the past, they've been screwed before, they trusted a marketing company and they didn't get the results they wanted to, and they're just like, screw this, I'm not trying it again. You kind of got to like unravel that and understand why. And then you got to give them like an alternative and be like, hey, this is what we do differently, man. I'd love to show you like some results that we're getting. Would you be interested maybe like hopping on a 10-minute call that way I can show you a little bit more about what we do? You can even throw in something like, I don't know if you guys have any offers, but you could be like, you know, we do a 14-day free trial. At least let me prove to you that I do what I say I do, to earn your trust, earn your business. And if you want to stay with us, awesome. If not, no worries. Like we don't sign anybody to contracts. I don't know if you do or you don't, but just kind of, we go by a month-to-month thing. We're very business partnership oriented. Like we're here to serve you. to help business owners grow. Kind of just pack as much value as you can into there rather than making it like, hey, buy my service, right? I work with window cleaners and I help them get more Google reviews. Do you want more Google reviews? No, it's like, what have you done in the past before to attack this issue? What are you guys currently doing to get more Google reviews? And if they're like, oh, nothing, and they don't see the importance in it, then show them the importance of it, right? Tell them why it's important to have Google reviews.
100%. Yeah. Open-ended questions, get them talking, understand their situation to best tailor it. 100%. I appreciate you.
Sure.
Yeah. One other thing, I guess, unless anyone has any other wins or questions right now that I wanted to just chat about that I think might help you guys for the week moving forward. Anyone have any other questions though, or anything? Any really bad calls this week?
I had a question specifically about clothes, because this is like really specific, but I tried to create one of those smart views and like I filtered it to be like the leads that were created the day, like on a certain day. But like when I did that yesterday, they're not showing up there today. So, yeah, how did you all create smart views for each area?
For each area? Okay. Oh, so when you
Or
upload
like
your
for
list,
each lead list, sorry.
yeah. All you do is so you go
Because
inside.
I imported the leads already, like they're in there.
Sweet. So you just go back here to where like you're like import lead and data, and then it's really small
Mhm.
tab. I was trying to you just press history right here.
Mhm.
History, and then you're gonna go here to details, and then view leads, and then you would press save as and then name it.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah.
I literally spent so much time trying to figure this out. I was like chatting with AI and
I
it
did the same
helping.
thing. Yeah. You can I'll
So,
post this if you need it. I can go back, you can go back and see that. But
thank you.
yeah. Um actually I had a guy call on the call this week that was like, I told him I was like, because we're calling pest control guys, and Sam and I used to do door-to-door sales, and he's like, basically it was just like, I hate salesmen. He's like, I hate salespeople. I have these young door-to-door guys that were talking crap on my company and yada yada yada, and it like kept going, and it turned into like, at least I was like, dude, I get it, bro. Agree. Yeah, I get it. Sales guys, gross. But at least turned into an opportunity of where he's just like, okay, he's like, I'm not down now, but hit me up in the spring, which means nothing. But that was a funny one I had. But last thing I kind of ended with you guys that I hope to be valuable to you is uh, detachment and desire. When you guys are on these calls, you guys really want to get a sale, and you have to think of desire and detachment as on a spectrum. So I was going to draw this out, but I guess I'll just leave it like that. So if we have desire over here and detachment over here, if you have too much desire and you want the sale like really, really badly, they're going to feel that. And you're going to come off as like you need it too much. And you'll be too salesy on the phone, like, yeah, this is why it's so amazing. This is why you should do it. Okay. They're going to feel that. They're not going to buy. Detachment. If you're too detached and you're nothing but detached, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just calling if they buy, cool. If not, no big deal. Then that's not going to work either because you're just so laid back. You're not going to push at certain times where you need to push. So the spectrum of desire and detachment, you need to be somewhere in the middle where you want to get the sale, but you also need to be detached enough to where if it doesn't go the way you want, it's not going to bother you. It's going back to rejection. And also, um, that way you can just keep calling and not get too bogged down by the rejection. So this week when you're making calls, you should is try to find this happy middle ground of like, I want to get the sale, but if I do everything that I can and it still doesn't work, that's okay. It's going to help you a lot in your mindset moving forward of calling, of just being like, I did my best, it didn't work. I want it, but if it doesn't happen, that's okay. So, um, yeah, I think that's a good way to end unless anyone has any other wins, any other questions. Maybe you just want to, chat about your dog. Just kidding. I got stuff to do too.
But friend request, like kind of like just
What's that? Somebody's talking. I think Diego was trying to talk and then
actually,
glitched out.
yeah, my connection's bad.
I can hear you now. No, I can't. All right. Oh, Star, what you got for us?
I'm sorry, really quickly. I just wanted to find out what is everybody doing regarding the phone numbers right now with the A2P approval because I saw Clay drop something different and I never switched to the text grid, so I feel a little stuck.
Are you using Twilio like do you have one number for each account? Are you doing like the master sending account?
No, I'm not doing anything actually. I think that's why I'm a little afraid to like pull the trigger with this particular setup. I sell SaaS, but not the reputation management piece of it. And I want to, but I've been held back because of that whole issue. So I was just wondering, like, what is everybody doing nowadays in Clay's program with that phone number issue?
So Twilio is actually pretty good now. We just started using Twilio again, and we were getting approvals in like 2 days. And then additionally, they just had a call 40 minutes ago. It was about an hour long for a provider called Signal House that seems to work really well. A lot of people in the community use that as well. So I would say Signal House or Twilio are probably your two best bets.
So you go directly through Twilio and not through GHL's application process.
Do it through GHLs. They use Twilio's who they send it over to. But yeah, doing it directly through GHL's like Ingrain, which is Twilio. And yeah, I've been getting approvals in like less than 2 days. So that's kind of what we transitioned back to and just having preloaded accounts, like have like 5 blank sub accounts that you can just plug a customer into.
Oh, so you're applying with your own information, not the client's information. That's what okay. So you're
Correct.
going back to the original strategy. Perfect.
Yep. So that works again. And then additionally, yeah, Signal House is another provider that looks really promising. They just had a big meeting, and I think a lot of people in the community use that as well. So we'll probably integrate that too, just to have multiple tools, multiple options.
Okay. Thanks so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of SaaS do you sell, if you don't mind?
Right now, I mainly sell to coaches, life coaches and business coaches.
Okay.
So I just sell it for 97. They need the course hub and all the funnels and all of that. So that's been my main audience. But I want to kind of expand out to local small businesses, which is why I got into the whole reputation management thing. But after the phone number hiccup, I just never really went forward with it.
I hear ya. Yeah, Sam and I, we didn't even have anything set up before we started cold calling. And just to put it, like we got our first clients and then like figured it out. So I would, like I think solve the problems that are in front of you. Like if you get a client, then it's like, okay, I need to figure this out. But I think those options are good and you'll be good to go.
Thank you guys.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
My first client ever I met at the gym and I didn't even know how to fulfill the work, but figured it out. So
And when money's on the line, you'll figure it out. We got a list of 5 on pre-order, basically. Uh-oh.
Just set proper expectations of like, hey, this is going to take 2 weeks or give as much
Yeah.
time as you want, like, you're going to say something, Diego?
Hey, can y'all hear me now? I was cutting out. The connection's pretty bad here. I'm like driving.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Clear. Yeah. So going back to what you were saying, man, it's mainly like just diagnosing them, like as a doctor, as like a therapist. It seems like a good fit. I kind of like that instead of just trying to like be salesy. So I've had to deny people on the review service at least because like they don't have like anything. So it's like the mobile app, and they're just not like the nicest people.
Yeah, yeah. Diagnosing open-ended questions to figure out if they're a good fit and to connect with them. And yeah, I mean, nice people. That's gonna. Honestly though, like even in door to door, like I got most people at least give you the respect. But yeah, you definitely run into people that aren't as kind. That's for sure. You just gotta know how to handle them. Now we can't hear you. You're muted again. Okay. Um,
Are you gonna keep like uploading videos of you cold calling? Because that's actually quite interesting. I'm just comparing like ourselves to other cold callers, you know? That has been like pretty helpful, at least for me.
yeah, I have what I'm gonna do, like there's a section in the community. I haven't like I really want to make like put a bunch of videos in there of like different calls and different like situations. So I'll put on like all the appointments I book into the community at some time. So you can like see just all the times that like I booked an appointment. And then even ones where I don't, and I'll probably be like, hey, this is what I fucked up on here. So yeah, I'll do that. Honestly, Sam and I are like all our time is actually into putting this business, like building this business, but I will upload those soon.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, you're welcome, Star. Um,
I guess I have a question. So when you guys are doing like your value prop, like in my experience, like people will start asking a lot of questions and like I could, go too in depth, but like how in depth are y'all going right now? Because I know like you also want them on the call and like you want them to keep, wanting more. So how in depth are y'all going right now?
yeah, so I mean, like when I would teach setting appointments in like solar, there is this concept of like you don't want to give them everything for sure. Um, but I think because the sale is so simple and
Mhm.
because it's like you can go into detail because like they're either going to be down or they're not. Like Ryan said, it's not really about the money. So like if we have the time to demonstrate the value for something that's, 99 to $300 a month, like it's cool. And that's why the VSL has also been really important. But yeah, I think answering their questions as long as it's going to tailor them, like get them interested, but like right after you answer it, rather than just them having answer every single question, try to book an appointment. Like I'd love to go over the rest of that with you. You could even like play around and be like, I don't have, it's like I this isn't really the best time. I'd like to book something where I can go in depth and actually show you. Because you do want to get them on a Zoom call. That's where you're gonna get their card, where you're gonna sign them up.
Mhm. Yeah, I actually made a video and I sent it out for like the first time and like 20 minutes later, the guy texted me back. He was like, I'm actually not interested anymore. It's so awkward.
Well, you don't have enough data yet. Yeah, don't go off of just one.
I know, but it was my first experience. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's tough. I would just take your cell as deep as you can on the call.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if there's an appropriate point to ask and they're kind of tapering off, ask for the Zoom call. But I've had good luck with getting people to give me verbal yeses on the phone and then they just hop on and it's onboarding. I've had like at least like 5 or 6 of those throughout since we've done this.
Very cool.
Yeah, just try to be like, hey, I mean, and I need to do this more is like, you want to hop on a Zoom call right now? Actually, one thing I was like thinking about experimenting with because I saw this like on Instagram was FaceTime them. Like, do you have an iPhone? Oh, let me show you this really quick. And then if you can literally just like immediately just like if they answer like just start calling them because now that does a couple things. One, they're gonna see you're a human and like have some trust there. And then you can start to show them on your computer because you can do a Zoom call if you have a Mac, off your Mac and like I don't know. I want to test it out and be like, hey, do you have an iPhone? Okay, cool. Let me show you something and just FaceTime them and see what happens because I think that will yeah, it builds more of a connection. They're gonna trust you more, and you can show them some stuff right there.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me try it out. Let me know. I'll try it out too. Um, but heck yeah. Yeah, anything else? TJ, I didn't hear from you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, this is my first call, so just soaking it all in. Real quick, do you guys show like a client roadmap or do you guys have like a presentation you showed? I think you maybe had dropped some kind of Canva presentation, but is that what you guys kind of show clients once they do hop on a Zoom call?
Yeah, so that Loom video that I dropped inside of there. So this is actually, and honestly, I will say I need to work on just my closing in general, but basically I'll kind of go through, these are my tabs I have pulled open when I actually do like a presentation, but I'll start with their Google Business profile, ask them questions about where they're at, pull up their stuff, and then I'll go through our client results. Um, and kind of just, and then the Canva presentation is actually Clay's that he has in the community. So
Okay.
um, we added a couple things like of our clients and stuff in here, but the main ones I talk about, like I'll chat on the review flywheel, like why reviews are important because they're doing two different things. They're getting you more awareness and then also helping with conversions, people choosing your business over another one. We'll talk about the service itself, show them examples of what the photos look like,
Mhm.
and then talk about the charity we donate to. But yeah, and then the roadmap thing is like I think just setting expectations of like how many reviews we think they're gonna get. That's something I can do better. Oh, you guys know Alex Hormozzi's closer framework? This is honestly every call. I've only done this a couple times. Like I have such a bad habit of just like freeballing my sales presentations, which is not at all how you should do that, by the way. But this is actually for like a demo call. And this, I mean, Alex Hormozzi's the GOAT. Like
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just doing this moving forward. Like I don't want to. So you clarify why they took action and they showed up. This is why, like, you need to get them to admit, like that they're here for a reason. Like, oh, I just wanted to get more info. It's like, yeah, but do you just like hop on Zoom calls all the time to get info? Like, well, but why are you here, man? Like, what are you trying to get better at? It's like, well, I want to get more reviews. Um, and then label them with the problem that you plan to solve. Like, hey, what have you done in the past? What didn't work for you? Oh, we asked people to get reviews, they don't leave them. um, and that's and then you kind of overview their past. That's sell them on the vacation, not the flight. This is definitely something I can do better at. Is like, hey, look, imagine your business has X amount of reviews. Like like if you have 30 right now, like imagine what people think when you have 300, like what that would do for you. Explain away their concerns, and then reinforce their decision. So after they say yes, like you're just constantly going through and just restating the value of why it makes sense. Every industry is different. Like you're gonna have to tailor it to your stuff, but having some sort of framework as you go along, just like on a cold call, is important. So eventually, when I start making more money, I'm definitely gonna pay for like high ticket closing training and stuff because I want to get better at that myself. But um, yeah, yeah. TJ, you are you cold calling or you used to, or I forget.
I'm gonna start. So was just working on the offer and the website. So definitely gonna start. I don't know who it was, Ryan, that was speaking earlier, but yeah, kind of do the same thing as him. Been running Google ads for a long, long time, Facebook ads. Gonna do the review thing. So yeah, just gonna try to speak with the customer, diagnose things, and see how we can best serve them with the different offerings. So yeah, gonna start pretty soon, probably tomorrow, honestly.
Let's go. Let me know how you do. Or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what was hard and not. And I just want, yeah, I want part of the reason why I like everyone here is so we can learn from each other and just get better together. Because like there's a lot I don't know, and eventually I want to get some like fucking like people that are savages in here too, so they can chat and
Yeah,
help.
I'm working on some pretty nice lead magnets too. So
Cool.
I think I can be able to share one of them in the group once it's done. It's like an ROI calculator. So yeah.
That'd be sweet, dude. That'd be super sweet. Um, but heck yeah, yeah. I mean, cold call. I mean, especially if it's like a new business or new, like starting something new, like you're just gonna learn what people have to say about what you're selling. Like, and it's hard to get that data. So like now we're starting cold email, and now we're starting, like texting, and because we've spent months now cold calling, we have just such a better idea of our potential clients' pain points and what they actually have interest in. And sometimes it's just like one person will say one thing and you'll go, I've never thought about that being a reason why this is valuable to you. And that's really helpful. So, but yeah, glad you're here, bro. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Anything else? Boys and girls? All right. Well, I appreciate you guys heavy. Thank you so much for being here. We will do it again next week, and share. I'd like to share like wins, losses of like you guys too. So like if you think of anything throughout the week that you want to share, I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, thank you so much, and see you next time. All right,
Yeah.
peace.
Thanks,
Bye.
see ya.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Yeah, no problem.